Hello. I think we're live.
Yep.
Good to go.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
I am not wearing my Regency garments today. Actually, I was thinking as I sat here that do I look like a floating head right now?
Not that bad, but maybe a little bit. No, I can see your arm now.
I just have to sit like this the whole time.
You're like the green screen where the weather girl accidentally wears green or whatever, and then she's just a floating head.
It's too bad it's not October because then it could have been like on theme,
Yeah.
spooky. Oh, she's a floating head.
Megan found a Bridgerton translator where you just type in um, what you want to say and it translates it to Bridgertonese.
Yeah, English to Bridgerton translator. I've had way too much fun with that. Also, thank you. I love my new mic. It's so pretty and I'm glad it sounds better. It was
Yeah,
kind of rough the
it
last
was a
couple
bit
ones.
rough.
Yeah. How's everyone doing today? Is everybody's weather changing if it changes?
Ours is really changing now. Hold on, hot pink mic, but there are too many pink hearts. Here it
Listen,
is.
Becca, you don't need to call me out like that,
Here
okay?
it is. It's backwards for you guys, but that's the original, the many heart version. Don't worry, Becca. I'll get you one. Just just ask for that black market romance decor.
Anyways, back to the weather. Our leaves are changing, which is nice.
Yeah, they were really changing today when I dropped off all the packages.
I'm gonna miss it because I'm stuck inside all the time.
We'll go for lunch tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like surrounded by. Actually, can you guys hear the printer at all? I don't think you'll be able to, but um, I am surrounded by 3D prints right now.
Is this the 3D print graveyard
Yeah,
or
these are all the ones that didn't work. There's this ghost holding a book. He's. And then there's some behind me that I don't feel like getting.
well,
Should we jump in?
we just jump right in. I feel like it's been 3 minutes. That's plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Initial thoughts?
Oh, right. Sorry.
I
A
thought
lot of it.
you're not jumping in.
Yeah, no, I was just like reading the chat
Yeah.
in little La La Land today. Um, Everyone will have to excuse me. I'm having a bit of an off day today.
she's she's a bit out of it today.
Just
She's
like
also
my
had
own
the
little world
dropsies.
today. Yeah, I did have a bad case of the dropsies today. Anyways, initial thoughts. We were talking about how this one would be interesting because we both actually have initial thought. Usually we like go into something blind, but
Usually I just assume there's witches.
with this one we have seen the show, so we both kind of knew. I think this might be the first instance that I saw a screen adaptation before reading the book.
Yeah.
And I think in this case I'm happy that I
Yeah, you were
saw the
happy
show
with
first.
that direction.
Yeah, I'll get into why later.
Yeah.
But anyways, initial thoughts. Season 2 of Bridgerton was my favorite season. So I kind of figured that the book wouldn't live up to the show. So I didn't have high hopes. Also, I should preface this with saying that um, I read the first Bridgerton book also after watching the first season of the show, and I don't think I have ever hated a book more in my life. That's probably not true, but I really did dislike it, and I can't believe that more people don't talk about the problems in that book. And
Yeah, don't get
I'm
her
not gonna get
started.
into it because we're talking about the second one. So if you want to know why I didn't like the first one, ask me later, and I will tell you.
You'll get like the longest brick of text. When she told me, like, because I didn't watch the first season with you, and you were like kind of mad at it,
Yeah,
the show, and then you read the book, and
it was even
I
worse.
was like, tell me about it, and then she just like arms flailing.
Listen, I'm a passionate gal, okay?
Oh,
Anyways, I
you don't
did
have to
like
tell
book
me.
2 better than I liked book 1 because it was less problematic. While it did have problems, it wasn't that problematic. It didn't make me rage. Um, yeah. Anyways, going into it, I knew kind of what the book was about. I knew what the like who the characters would be. I knew kind of the direction it would go, but I was interested to see how the book differed. That was my initial thoughts. Your go.
Um, I think I had just kind of the. I mean, I couldn't get the characters out of my head from the show. We can get into that too. But
Yeah.
I went into it expecting to not really love it, and I came out of it the same way.
Which leads us right into our ratings.
Ratings.
I gave it 3 stars. For me, it was fine. I liked it more initially, and then probably about 50% through, I was just super bored. And yeah, it was a generous 3 for me.
Yeah,
Newton made it a 3.
that's true. He got it up from a solid 2 from me. Two
Yeah.
and a half, or no, 2 1/4 was my. Didn't do a very good job on the star, but
And it was like 2 1/3.
yeah, that's too much. 2 1/4. um, I initially I thought, oh, this is like it's giving me more information about the characters than I was getting in the show. I might actually like this more. And that lasted about 3 chapters, and then I was like, oh, it's all downhill from here. And then it just got worse. And then I was gonna rate it at the end like a 2, maybe a 3, um, maybe 2 3/4, and then I drove to drop the packages off, and I thought about it, and I was like, no, it's got to go down from there. And then the more I thought about it, the lower it kept getting.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I couldn't think about it too much, or else I probably would have lowered it even more. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think if I had read this book without watching the show, it would have been much lower. But I think the show actually bumped it up
yeah,
because I pictured the characters,
right,
and that made it better. If I had pictured the characters as they were in the book, it would have been much lower.
yeah. Group rating
How was the
three
group
and a
rating? I
half.
didn't even look. 3.5. That's not bad.
Oh, I messed up the little thing. It's cut off a bit, but you can get the gist of it. Um,
That's pretty
yeah,
middle of the road.
I don't, I don't know why
Definitely
my
not our
rating
like
didn't
most loved
show
book
up,
that
but
we've done.
it's not the worst.
No.
Um,
I wonder if by the end of the month, because we're pretty early still, I think there's
yeah,
like
that's true.
less like 6 days left of the month. So I wonder if other people add their ratings after, if it will change much.
Discussion? Do you want to jump in?
Well, we can start with the comments. I feel like
Okay.
I'll add my 2 cents as we go along. I think, like I said at the beginning, like I think the book started out fairly strong. I actually really liked the beginning of the book because I felt like we got more of a look into. Okay, hold on. Is it Anthony or Antony. Which one are we going with?
Antony.
Antony?
Yeah.
Okay. So I like the beginning of the book because we got more of a look at Antony's life and how he was with his dad and like
Yeah.
what that meant to him. And I just think that it really gave us a bigger picture of why he is the way he is and
Yeah.
like everything. So having that at the very beginning, I love.
Yeah.
And the family dynamics are always great. I love the Bridgerton family.
Yeah.
So.
I think the knowing the information in the book makes the show slightly better. Like,
Yeah. I
it,
wish they had done more of that in the show. Like
yeah,
if we got like a flashback or
right,
something.
right. I think that would have added something to the show. Not that season 2 is bad, but I
No.
think it did add a lot of dimension to why he was the way that he was.
Yeah. Just to clarify with the Antony or Anthony, it is spelt like Anthony with an H, but in the audiobook they say Antony, and in the show they say Anthony, so I think the H is supposed to be silent. I don't know if that's a Regency thing or what, but I'm just going with the way the audiobook pronounced it and the show because I feel like that's the way they want it to be said, even though it reads like Anthony. I don't know. But yeah, I thought the beginning was like really sad
Yeah.
and
I was like, oh, maybe I will. Maybe I was wrong at that point.
yeah, I thought that too. I was like, oh, this is like way better than the first book. I'm feeling a lot of emotions that aren't negative. Well, they were, but they were like
Yeah.
sad, not rage. So
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, it was.
I thought the dad was like, for how little time he was in the book, you really thought of him as a good guy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
immediately, you're like, oh, he gets it.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, like, I think someone said, I don't know if you included it as a comment, but I think someone had said, like, how rare it was for not only that time, but for a wealthy family to have a father that was that involved.
so that's this comment, not comment for rich
Oh, did
families.
I not even read it? Oh. There we go.
there's
I told
there's
you.
your day.
I'm losing it. Losing it. But yes, I totally agree with that.
All right, next one. Same thing, just how sad it is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I until the author's note, I didn't really know that was a thing, like that sons who lose their father early don't think that they'll outlive their father.
I didn't know that either. I'm glad she included that.
Yeah, the note made it. I was like, oh, that's an interesting, real thing.
Yeah, author's notes are so fun. Right? I just think they add to the book so much.
Yeah, that actually like helped the book a little bit for me.
Yeah, because if you didn't know that, you would just be like, wow, that's weird. That's a bit like extreme.
Right.
Like it's traumatic, but like.
But to know that's like a legitimate thing is quite interesting to me.
I agree. Oh, hey, it's me.
Somebody made a comment about that earlier. I think it was Amanda saying that it was weird to see them described as blonde.
I will go to my dying day that the book is wrong and Edwina is not pale and blonde.
Yeah. I pictured them as their TV show version of them the entire book.
Yes. Although, that being said, after now reading the book Antony is not Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
They are separate. Because he would never.
Yeah. He would never be book Antony.
Yeah. But I actually want to touch on Megan's comment, the inclusivity of the culture in the show. Not just the Indian culture, but what the show did for diversity in an era that had no diversity, and the books have no diversity. They're all fair-skinned and usually pale, or usually blonde and blue-eyed or whatever. And I love what the show did, adding that, and I think it made it so much better. And I know, like, the author at the time was probably trying to stay true to the time, but like I just love what they did with the show with the inclusion of all of the different diversities.
Yeah.
It made it so much better.
Uh, I
Oh,
did. I
yes,
did
hold
think
on.
that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Tammy mentioned the show Buccaneers. I just watched I like binged the first season. Scott was away for something and I like flew through season 1. Loved it. If you're looking for something to watch, if you liked Bridgerton, The Buccaneers is so good. Anyways, moving on.
Um, I thought Colin was one of the only characters that kind of stayed consistent between the show and the book.
Yeah.
I felt like he was the like same vibe through both.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name, but he did a really good job of, I think, bringing that character's vibe to life
Yeah.
in the show. And in the book, like you said, he stays true. I loved Colin. Like,
Yeah.
especially in this book, I was glad that we got to see him more. I just think, like, how he is in this season is, like, way better than
Yeah.
what he becomes
Yeah, what Megan said, season
later.
3 Colin is a different dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Colin, like, earlier, but yes, Luke. Thank you for telling me his name. Um, but yeah, in the book he was actually really good.
Yeah.
I think he was the only character I preferred the book version more than the show.
The banter started off well. This is when
Yes, it
I
did.
was like, okay, we got something to work with here.
It's something I was really excited about going into this book because in the show they have such good banter and she's so strong-willed that I was like really excited to hopefully see that.
Yeah.
Spoiler, I don't think it continues. like Megan said, like it
Yeah.
just like hard stopped.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what happened, but Kate second half of the book was not the same Kate we got in the beginning.
Yeah.
Totally different person.
If anyone posts a picture of their dog in the Fable comments, there is 100% chance I'm gonna include it.
I loved this so much. Ugh, so cute. Dave, my new favorite dog.
Yeah.
Other
He's...
than Eddie, I'm sorry. He's under my desk.
Did he look up at you all
Yeah,
offended?
he did. How dare you? Oh, he's so cute though,
Yeah.
and I'm so. But it brings me back to Newton, best
Star of the
character
book.
in the book, like star of the show.
Love it.
Like no notes.
No.
Was Newton in the show?
Yeah, briefly, but not. He should have been the star of the show,
Why
but
don't I remember him being in the show?
yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
But they were, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm misremembering.
I don't remember.
But
I know the Queen has dogs.
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they showed up.
I didn't remember Kate having one.
He's the reason Anthony fell into the lake.
In the show, really?
Huh? Maybe I'll have to rewatch season 2.
I know that he falls in. That is.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Is in my mind forever, but I couldn't tell you why he ended up in the lake. I just know he's there.
And you know he gets out of the lake.
And I know he gets out in slow motion.
All right.
Well, speaking of.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice
Newton.
segue.
Just getting things done.
Getting things done.
You know, it's always dogs that like accidentally bring people together, but I'm pretty sure that dogs in literature are like Cupid, you know?
Yeah.
Like the manifestation of Cupid.
Yeah, I think like dog meet cutes are the best meet cute. I know this wasn't a meet cute, but like.
But I also think the dog is like knows what it's doing.
Oh,
you know?
totally.
Like that's their job in romantic literature is to bring
Yeah,
people together like Cupid.
100%.
Um,
I liked this comment a lot because I thought the same. I feel like we've been reading a lot of like somewhat heavy
yeah.
books in this whole book club.
Other than Legends and Lattes.
Yeah, other than that one. This was a nice, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it had some serious to it, but
Yeah.
it did have
But
some
it had some,
moments.
like, it had funny moments to it as well.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the heavy moments weren't like that
Yeah.
heavy.
Um, Meg and I were talking about the falling into the lake, and how in the book they say that just his arm gets wet, and Megan was like, "What's even the point then?"
Really, though.
Really.
Yeah, in the show, it's like he falls all the way, like 100% fully submerged. Great
Um,
artistic direction. I actually thought this was interesting because in the last book that we read, Magic Hour, everyone was complaining about the POV changes mid-chapter, and then we start this book, and it's like, I feel like this one had even less of an indication that it was switching. I don't know how it was in the audiobook, but in the ebook that I was reading, it was like no notice that it switched POVs. Like 1 minute it was from Kate's and the other it was from Antony's. And
yeah.
like
Um, the
it
audiobook
was super random.
wasn't that bad. Um, because she would generally switch her tone depending on who she was manifesting,
Mm,
and so I kind of just like knew when it swapped from that.
okay.
Um, but I can see how it would have been confusing if you didn't have that
Yeah,
kind of
well,
cue.
like Becca and Jess said, I had to like kind of go back and be like, okay, who is this now? Because
Yeah,
it switched so randomly. I didn't love that. I also preferred this of Kate in the show. It wasn't like she was wanting to be like a spinster because she like didn't think she was beautiful or like whatever. She like had some independence and wanted to like go and like have her own life in the show.
yeah,
Whereas in the book it was just like such a lackluster reason for her like kind of thinking she was going to end up alone.
yeah,
I think the show added so much more backstory to her that made her so much better.
yeah. Um, Here's a comment about Antony being the worst. Let's maybe
It was
dive into that.
yeah, it really started with her hiding under the desk.
Then
That
he
was
like
my
steps
like
on her hands and kicks her.
breaking point where I was like, "Oh, this is not the same Antony as the show at all."
Yeah, they they were a bit more intentionally violent with each other than I would have anticipated.
Yeah, and I will say I don't know if you included the comment or not. There was someone who commented, I can't remember who it was now, that like if the roles were reversed, she could see Kate doing the same thing. Like
Yeah,
Kate would have stepped on his hand and kicked
right,
him. And like Kate bit him. So like
right.
it wasn't just
Yeah,
one-sided.
yeah,
But I always have a little bit of an issue when Antony knows he is so much stronger and bigger than Kate. He says that he uses it to intimidate her. Like he's very intentional about using that to intimidate her.
yeah,
And I think there's such a power imbalance that, like, yes, she bit him, but like he uses his power against her. And that's the difference to me. He knows he's stronger. And I think kicking is a very disproportionate response to biting, in my opinion. I just think
Also,
it was a bit much.
yeah, there's a lot.
But
Um,
anyways, yeah, I just felt like I know they were trying to do the like kind of bickering thing, but I just think it was
I think in a book where like it'd be one thing if they were like if it was a book where they were like bounty hunters or something, where they're like a
yeah.
violent career
Yeah.
by nature, but to
I
have
have
two,
read I've read books where the two characters are more cutthroat with each other, but like they're kind of trained to be that
right,
way and they're more on equal footing.
right,
But Anthony doesn't think that Kate is his equal,
yeah.
especially at that point of the book.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a perfect example of like uh,
Yes,
people fighting each other that
totally.
works.
Yes. I just think it's different.
Yeah.
This kind of
Um,
goes back to the POV,
yeah.
which we
Well,
already kind of discussed.
okay. So this would be when he comforts her under the when she's under the table in the library, I think it is, because she's
Was it?
freaking out from the rainstorm. I
Yeah.
think.
Listen, he had some moments. I'm not saying he wasn't sweet at times, but he was also highly problematic.
Yeah.
And there was no rhyme or reason. Like, it was very hot and cold.
Yeah. He's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Like just because you think that you might die soon doesn't mean you have to be mean to everyone. In fact, you should probably be nicer to everyone if you think that.
Yeah. Anyways, he definitely had moments. Like when she was hiding under the table, he was very good with
Right.
her. Like I think he handled it well. He was very sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, this is when they're setting up the game. What was the game called again?
Paul Mall.
Paul Mall,
Yeah. So I was trying to look it up to
aka
see if it was the
Croquet.
same as croquet. And it's apparently not, but the version they were playing I think is the same as croquet.
It sounded similar at least.
I was trying to look it up, but because I was doing the audiobook, I was I thought there was I thought it was Pow like PAUW or something, like Pow
Yeah.
Mall, and I just kept getting Palmalos to show like the fruit, and I was like, I just want to find what game this is, and then finally found out that it was Pall Mall, and it is not the same as croquet, but it is croquet. Like it came
It's
before
similar.
croquet. It came before croquet, and
Okay.
then it kind of transitioned. But the version they were playing, I believe, was croquet.
Yeah. Well, they kind of said they like made up their
Yeah,
version, but I think it was such a fun
yeah,
chapter to see the other siblings. Like Megan said in her comment, I was sad that Eloise wasn't there for that one because she was like she's my favorite in the show,
yeah,
and I felt like we barely got her in this book at all, which I know she's quite young in this book, but it was nice to see all the siblings together and how Kate kind of just like went along with it.
So I have like a random story about my childhood. I don't know if I've told you this story, but
Like,
um, actually I think I have. But I was older than you would think when this happened, but not an adult. um, so we were getting family pictures done at my parents' cottage or my grandma's cottage, and she had all these croquet mallets, and we had the bright idea to like it was like bad weather for a minute, so we were like, oh, let's just play croquet. But there was this, it was our cottage, and then like probably 400 meters one way, there's this big good dock. We called it the big dock. Its real name was the government dock, and it was probably 100 meters out into the water. And we played croquet from the goal was to get it through just a single hoop from the end of the dock in the least amount of shots, but the hoop was at the cottage, so you had to play like a kilometer of croquet before, and we were trying to knock each other's balls into the water. Anyways, I my ball went in the water, so I had to go in and get it, and then my white shirt for the photos just got completely covered in brown from the dock because I had to go off the side of it, and then
Also, that water was not clean.
and there's not clean water, no. And then we played all the way back, and then there was a road, and we had to hit it down the road, and then we had to watch for cars coming to make sure we didn't hit a car with the croquet mallet. And then I came back, and my shirt was just like brown, and then I had to wear somebody's undershirt as a shirt. And now we have a family photo of me and it's because we were playing what I think was Pall Mall.
Yes.
It
I
sounded
think you were.
very similar,
Yes.
and I can tell you, it is very fun.
Mhm. It was. I think that was one of my favorite parts of the
Yeah,
book.
I think it's the best part of the book.
Yeah.
I
I
think
feel like it's when all of the characters were like themselves.
yeah, yeah, and they're like cutthroat, but like in a fun way.
Yeah.
What they say they'll go for the pink mallet. Would you have gone for the mallet of death?
Obviously.
Obviously, you gotta.
You got black like my soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Cressida. She sucked.
The worst.
I don't want to say anything about future Cressida, so I won't. But in this particular interaction, she was the worst.
Yeah.
And I really liked how Anthony dealt with it.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like causing a scene and like standing up to her, he takes Penn out of the situation and makes her special.
Right.
Right? Like, he didn't antagonize the bully. He just like pivoted. I don't know. I just liked the way that
Yeah.
he dealt with it. Seems like most people agree.
He had a moment.
Yeah.
And then he gets to be the worst again.
I don't really know what this is referring to, like, specifically.
But
I don't remember
It
which
did
part.
have some progression to it, which was nice.
It did, but like also not the important parts.
I wish they would have communicated slightly better at some
Yeah.
point.
Like, a lot could have been solved if they would have just talked to each other, especially him. She was like always somewhat open.
Yeah.
But I know it's probably just like the times and men, but I just
Men.
wish he would have.
They're the cause of most problems.
Seriously.
Um,
I thought this was a really interesting comment. Getting to like kind of the main thing with the bee. I agree with this comment a lot. It was like totally different in the show. In the book, Kate was like so condescending, and like clearly he was having a moment, right? Like, he was like,
freaking
I
out.
feel like you can tell when someone is panicked and like behaving irrationally because of panic,
Mhm.
you know? Like, you can usually tell the difference. And she just was just like, I don't know. She just wasn't very kind, I thought.
Yeah.
Very dismissive.
Right. I put your comments side by side for you.
Okay, I feel like, so one of these comments was made, they were made one chapter apart from each other, because the whole time you're like under this assumption, especially from seeing like the first season of the show, like you have to have a chaperone. You're not allowed to be alone together.
Yeah.
And these two characters are nothing but alone together.
All the time.
All the time. Like they're more alone than they're not.
Right.
And I was like, what is going, like, why does this not align with everything we know about this world and this time period? Right?
Right.
And then next thing you know, he's sucking bee venom out of her and they're getting married. And that's why you don't spend alone time together.
Yeah. Then you end up married.
Now you know.
I know what that's like.
Hey. But yeah, and well, like Becca's saying, he should have known better, because look what happened with his sister. She was caught alone with the Duke in season 1.
She got in big trouble for that.
Had to get married.
Had to get married.
Anyways, I thought it was just very like, I did think it was funny that like the one chapter before, I'm like, why is this not a rule? And then all like,
and then they're like, oh yeah, it is.
Consequences of their actions immediately followed. Definitely different than the show.
Yeah, sucking that bee venom.
I don't think that happened in the show at all.
I don't think so.
I agree with Amanda. I kept waiting for them to get caught too. I also agree with Becca that Edwina didn't seem to really, like, I don't think she had enough time to know him.
They didn't really have much interaction at all.
And yes, Jess, it was her collarbone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the women that caught them were
speculating
because they couldn't really see, and then she pointed out, no, it was her collarbone. But I think it didn't make it any better.
Yeah. Still had to get married. Mrs. Featherington, though, always the worst.
Yeah.
I like show Miss Featherington better too, though. She's still the worst, but like in a better way. Somehow it's the first show to book, like usually when I read a book that was a movie or show or whatever, I find that you get so much more about the characters in the book.
Yeah.
But this is the first time where I feel like you get more about the characters in the show.
Yes. Other than, I would say, the beginning with Antony's like backstory and deep connection to his father. But other than that,
I mean the like recurring characters, like I feel like you know them way better.
Yeah, like there was a comment, I don't know if you included it, but someone was talking about Lady Danbury, and it was just a passing thing in the book, and in the show she's completely different, and she's also like super prominent in the show and like super important, and I really love that you get more of her and a better version of her at that in the show. And it's true what you're saying, that usually I prefer books because you get all that backstory and character development, but you're right, I think the show did more.
Yeah, other than like history maybe of characters, but there's that's why I found interesting was that it's not even close. Like the side characters are even more fleshed out.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny because I don't know if is this the same Amanda that commented this, because you literally just said the same thing in the chat as when you switched the screen to the new.
Oh yeah.
And that's so funny.
Yeah.
That's like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was funny because I was just about to say, oh, I want to touch on that. We're gonna get to it, and then now we are. I thought like this is really interesting because I think people were really torn on this. I know people who love the books are of the same mindset as you, Amanda, who prefer the book because they don't like the extra drama with Edwina. And while I agree, I don't think that they needed to drag out the Edwina storyline in the show quite as much as they did, because it was unnecessary,
Yeah.
and to me it didn't really stay true to the sisters' love for each other.
Right.
I will say I can see why they may have wanted to add drama. I don't think they did it in the right way, but I can see why they would have wanted to, because as soon as they like get caught and are compromised and need to get married, that moment is when the book fell so flat for me. It was so boring after that. There was nothing keeping me interested. There was nothing to it anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
I do think that I agree though that the show with Antonia and Edwina was like a less interesting
Yeah.
storyline than the book, or maybe it pushed, like you said, pushed too far. I think.
I think they took it too far. I think they should have picked a different thing to be more dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they needed to use Edwina to do so,
Yeah.
but I can see why they thought they needed to make it more dramatic, if that makes sense. Because, like, as soon as they, like, Kate changes so much as soon as they agree to get married. Like, she's a totally different character in the book as soon as they agree to get married. Her spark and her, like, spunk are gone. And there's nothing driving the plot forward anymore
I
in the book.
I appreciate that comment though, because like Kate's whole purpose in life is to help her sister.
Oh, I totally
And
agree. I think the show did their relationship so dirty. I don't like how they made the show more dramatic.
yeah.
Like, I don't like that they used that. But what I'm saying is I can see the why.
Yeah.
Cuz yeah, the book just it got so boring.
I think it's interesting when we have comments close together that are kind of juxtaposed with one another.
Yeah.
Um, because this one is, um,
Well, this is kind of exactly what I just said.
yeah.
Like, um the show I don't think got the drama right,
Right.
but I feel like they needed something.
I think it's interesting also that we have so many different perspectives. And I wonder how many people who read the book first didn't like the show compared to
Yes.
the other way around, and how
Well,
much bias
that usually
plays.
happens. The one that you read or see first is the one you kind of
Right.
prefer because you're comparing, right?
Right. Um,
I think we kind of touched on this, like how Edwina is like at the altar
yeah.
about to get married, and how I think that was too far. Like, and I really do think that did a disservice to Kate and Edwina's relationship. I loved their relationship in the book. Kate is
Yeah.
all about her. Like, and I love that about Kate so much. And I don't like that the show kind of they didn't really take that away from Kate, but it definitely like lost its focus.
Yeah. I
I
love a
love
good throwback.
the callback
Yeah.
to the Frozen River. I liked that too.
That's the first. Was that the first book?
No,
Or no,
second.
second book. Um, yeah, that was.
I had some issues with that portion of the book. It seemed very coerced to me.
Yeah, I got that vibe too.
Yeah.
Not not
Like I
great.
know you get Kate's perspective, and there is a time where she says she wants it,
Yeah,
but it is also after she says that she wants to wait.
Yeah.
And I know you can change your mind at any moment. So, like, if she was, like, out and then in, fine. Like, but it did read a little bit kind of coerced,
Yeah.
talked into it. I think even at one point he's like that he's owed it or something. I forget what the word is.
I think
It didn't sit
this.
right with me.
I think this is. Is that the line?
Yeah, I don't like being denied my rights. Ew.
Yuck.
Yeah. I didn't like it at all. I know it was like a thing of the times. I think someone even said, I don't know if this is the comment, it's too small, I can't read it, but um if the author would have taken some creative liberties with that area, I wouldn't have been bothered if it didn't line up to Regency
Yeah.
era.
This is. I wish the author would have taken some creative liberties to write more progressive
Yeah.
characters in a society with the kind of values she would like to see, even if it wasn't historically accurate.
Yes. 100%.
Definitely agree.
Yeah. I even like like in the quote, like his voice was cold, his face was harsh. Like they talk about his power. Like it didn't read well. And I I'm with Becca, like I was trying to keep in mind this was written 25 years ago. Consent was a very different thing then than it is now. But like Megan says, it's also not really an excuse. Like I don't know. As a like coming from a woman author, I expected a little better. But after what I read in the first book, I also should have known because the first book was very dubious with consent in a much worse way, in my opinion. So maybe not. I don't know. I guess I can't say it's like worse, but like
Yeah.
it was still dealing with that issue.
Yeah.
So it's not new to this author. But anyways, I didn't like that part.
No.
Oh, yeah, I think this was on that like if I hadn't watched the show and I read this first, I wouldn't have watched the show.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I watched the show first.
Yeah. Um.
But also, like, in my comment, I know I've said this before, like, Kate was so strong in the show the whole way through. And in the book, as soon as she agrees to marry him, no spark, no pushback,
Yeah. I was kind
no
of.
banter.
I was kind of like, why am I reading this now? After that.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. Like, it just wasn't a thing. I don't know.
One thing that was weird to me, I don't know how to say this in a
Just go for
good
it.
way, but like the whole book, um, he starts off being like, I'm not attracted to her, and then he like clearly is,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole book would like described Kate as like ugly, or not ugly, but like it
Not as beautiful as
not as
Edwina.
beautiful. But then it was just like, but she is all of a sudden. But like
I don't
it's
think I ever got the vibe that he wasn't attracted to her.
no.
Like
I mean, like the book itself though was like harsh towards Kate in a way
oh
that I
yeah,
didn't think.
the writing for
Yeah,
sure.
not Anthony himself. Like the
Yeah.
writing, I was like, but then it kind of came
But then
down
we're
to
also getting
it's
we're
from
getting
Kate's perspective. She's
yeah.
comparing herself to Edwina. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it took me a bit to like put together that that was like almost her internal dialogue
Yeah.
that was making her feel that.
That's what I was just gonna say.
So once I like flushed that out, I was like, okay, it's not unfounded. with the internal dialogue.
Yeah. But also, like, the whole, like, are you thinking of my sister right now? I mean, I'm glad she didn't wait, but also, like, if she was having, like, not a good time, I'm glad she, like, spoke up during, but also, like, it was a bit of a weird read. Like, I don't know. That's a good thought,
Yeah,
Becca. It is true that we don't get her internal dialogue, so we don't know her insecurities in the show.
right.
But I would also say, like, even like the tone of Kate really changed in the book. Like, even though we did get her internal dialogue the whole way, she was still like bantering with Antony a lot, and until like a certain point, and then like that just stopped, and
Yeah.
like I just feel like there was at some point a shift where she becomes different, and like it just didn't read like the same character to me. But I wonder how much of that I projected show Kate onto the book Kate and was like, no, that's not the way you were supposed to be. Like, was
Becca,
that
you
something
said that
I,
didn't, you haven't seen the show yet, so you would be a good person to say. And you're saying she lost it, so
yeah. So
uh,
not just me
maybe it
then.
isn't just you.
Yeah. Well, glad I'm not alone then, because yeah, it just seemed like I think Becca said it, but she just lost her glow, like,
Yeah.
and her spark. It was just like there was nothing there anymore. I did also, I thought this was like kind of funny. Like, he's like scheming a way to get closer. I think I agree with Megan. It was one of those only scenes that at least stood out to
Yeah.
me the second half of the book. Like, it was just like kind of funny, and it was something I could kind of picture you doing, like just like internally
Scheming.
scheming. Like, I'm gonna drink all this tea so that it won't spill because
Yeah,
she wouldn't like that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, I think it was, in a way, nice because it made their relationship more playful.
Yeah.
In so it kind of, after like some like questionable stuff in the past of the book, then it was like okay, they like genuinely like each other
Yeah.
and are like kind of having like those funny moments now, which is
Yeah.
a
It was
good
more like
transition.
friends.
Yeah,
Like, not friends, but like
yeah,
you could, like you're saying, like they got along, and
yeah,
he like goes to, like, the fact that she ends up choosing to like go across and sit in his lap anyways, like
right,
they find this like contentment and fun with each other.
right,
They want to be near each other.
yeah, exactly,
It was like they were both kind of trying to get the same thing, and
yeah,
I don't know. It was a nice scene.
yeah.
Then we get to the why of Kate.
Um, I thought that part was interesting. Like it was a obviously very traumatic moment,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was a well written, interesting part of her. Um,
Yeah.
I struggle when there's too much of a coincidence between characters where like she went through this traumatic thing and is scared of death from
Yeah.
her mother, and then he's like, I'm also scared of death, but
Yeah. Like it was
never.
too perfect for you.
Yeah, I don't like when things line up that well. But also the fact that he didn't communicate his insecurities to her after she told her, um, like it was like the perfect moment to be like, to comfort you. Well, actually, I'm also scared of death. which is a
Yes.
perfectly reasonable way to be like, you're not crazy, and I don't think you're crazy.
Yeah. It would have been the perfect time for them to both have that conversation together. Instead, it dragged on for, I don't
Three more
know,
chapters, four more
a
chapters.
bunch, too many more chapters.
I,
At this
I could
point,
have wrapped up the book up around that spot, in my opinion.
yeah. I think, like, to be 100% frank, at this point of the book, I was already checked out.
I think I had it
So,
at 2 times speed at that point.
hearing her trauma, like, I was glad she got answers, but it meant very little to me because I wasn't interested anymore. I, like, just lost all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like that. I was just over it. Like, it didn't have the impact I think it was supposed to have because there was nothing moving me forward through the book anymore.
yeah. I. It was more of like a morbid curiosity to be like, what is there left to get out of this book
Yeah,
for me to continue it?
same. I was like, how, like, what are we working? I kept waiting for there to be some kind of
Culmination of
drama.
this
I don't
story.
know if it's the way that books have evolved over time. Like, maybe books that, like, I feel like books that were written during this time period didn't have the same, like, flow that books nowadays have, where you
Yeah,
have that, like, plot moving it forward and, like, these big, like, twists or these big, like, third act breakups or whatever. Like, I think writing was different 25 years ago.
yeah.
And, like, I don't think it was as common to have those things. But yeah, like, there was just,
Well,
there
we
wasn't
did
enough.
get an epilogue of Pall Mall, so maybe there was a payoff.
I didn't read that one.
Oh wait, that was epilogue 2.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah.
Yeah, what we were just saying.
We
Gotta
were just talking about this.
just
Exactly.
talk about it.
He needs to
Just
there is nothing I hate more in a book than if something could be solved by just having a
yeah,
conversation and they don't.
yeah. At the end of the day, I think I put it together. Anthony was just a trust fund baby in in 1814, and he just was a moody, all over the place guy who came from money. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. Whenever they're talking about what he does, they're just like, he does work. Like, he's out doing business things. Like, there's
Did
just,
anyone really do, like, if they were like that
yeah,
loaded,
but like,
they don't do any work?
but like, it's just like, we take a yeah, like what Becca said, meetings. Like, okay, you're just a trust fund nepo baby. Just
Yeah.
settle down here.
Yeah. Um, then
Next.
he, what, like, kind of runs away? Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Freaks out.
Yeah. I can appreciate that he has a strange response to
I agree.
everything.
Oh, I totally agree.
Um, I wonder if some of that was because he knew he should have just said something and then didn't. Like, it would fester to be like, she's feeling the same things as me, and then he misses that moment to talk about it, and then he thinks about it more.
I also think there's a fear in being vulnerable when
Yeah,
you've had to be the stronghold for your family
right,
for your entire life, pretty much.
right.
Like, I don't think he knows how to be vulnerable, and I think that is important to recognize. He's never really been shown that. Like,
Yeah,
um, he always had to be the provider, right?
right.
But all that being said, I was still very frustrated with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So
I
there we
did
go.
like that Eloise was the one to message Kate. I thought it was nice to have a little glimpse of her. But yes, he was a drama queen. I
Yeah,
did like while he was being a drama queen, I liked that his brothers just like kind of called him out on it and didn't let him like wallow
yeah,
and like they didn't they just like antagonized him until he figured it out for himself,
yeah,
which I appreciated.
yeah. That's how me and my friends are.
Yeah.
Our moral support is to kindly make fun of each other until we get it together.
Yeah. I did have to laugh at this comment with like the chapter ended with like something about like watching his wife die or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget like the exact thing. Like the chapter ends there and like Becca says in this like I think not. I was like it's so like they
over the
tried to
top.
like build this like drama but it lasted all of one sentence.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that,
It's a. I
it was
don't
very
like the like
anticlimactic.
dramatic fake death side of things. Like it's just sometimes a bit much.
Yeah. Um then he tells her, "Yay."
I, going back to that, it reminds me of that. I think it's Madagascar 3, and the guy's like telling a story, and he's like, "I died, but I lived."
It reminded me of the night at the museum.
I have come back to life.
It's
Yeah,
me every time.
every time.
It's not at all the same, but yeah. Um anyways, back to Anthony telling Kate
Yeah,
his internal thoughts.
I appreciated that Kate was like, "I can't fix that for you."
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated her response to the whole thing.
Yeah. I also kind of got the vibe that she was just like, "You're dumb."
Yeah, you're dumb,
Like,
but like, you
you're
can
dumb,
keep
but I get it.
you can keep being dumb until you're 39.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I did really like her response.
Yeah, 100 pages before it would have been perfect.
Yeah, totally agree. And then we get to the epilogue. Not the second epilogue, the real epilogue. We won't be discussing the second epilogue because I've been told it has spoilers for other books, and I don't want to do that if you want to continue the series. And I didn't read it, so I have nothing to say about it. But the original epilogue, we get that they have children and they play horrible music together, and he lives
Lives
to be
to be
39.
39. And then, according to the author's note, he lives to be 92
Yeah, exactly. So,
and doesn't die of any allergies
yeah.
and doesn't have any, allegedly.
Yeah. I did like the epilogue. I like when things are
Yeah.
tied up. I know you don't love like a nice pretty bow, but
Like for the like a
I like
romance
it.
book, I don't mind a bow to like bring closure to everything. To be like, here's all your questions answered.
Yeah.
Um, it's more of a book that's trying to leave you in an existential crisis where I like
Yeah.
open-ended endings.
I can see that.
So, not not a horrible ending, just too late in my opinion.
Yeah. Um Megan, with your comment about Penelope, I don't know. I was also confused about that. I don't know how they handle that in the book or like whatever. So I can't answer that. I don't really know. Is that all of the
Um, No.
comments? I think we kind of. Oh
Well,
yeah,
we covered it.
we covered that. Yeah. Ending. We kind of already talked about.
Yeah.
How did everyone feel about the ending? Did we like it? Did we?
I didn't dislike the ending. I
No,
think
I liked the ending. I thought it was nice. Like
it
I
was
liked that we got to
finally
see.
over.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, I said the same thing as Becca. That I was happy that it was done.
I liked
Um,
that epilogue.
yeah,
Like
the
I
epilogue was
mean,
good.
I think I was like ready for it to be done, but I also was glad that we got to see him happy
Yeah,
and no longer struggling with that
right.
anymore.
Yeah, I of endings of books we've had, um, it was better than some of the other ones.
Yeah. Um
Yes, Pall Mall was the best part of the book. I want
and
an
yeah,
entire book that is just like a very in detail game of Bridgerton, Pall Mall, and
with
nothing else
Newton.
with Newton.
Yeah.
Newton would have to ruin it somehow.
He'll like grab the
Exactly, grab a
archery,
ball
whatever it's
or
called.
yeah, put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Start some fanfic. Pall Mall featuring Newton.
Yes. Okay, let's talk challenges because this one counts for some. And is actually the reason that we read it in the first place. So, as you may know, the theme for September was filling in the prompt in the fully booked reading challenge that was a book from 25 years ago. And so all of the choices for September were books written in the year 2000. And this was the one that won that poll. So, if you were like me and didn't have a book for that, now you do. Other prompts that it would fit into, obviously V for the A to Z, which I just added it in for that one because I was missing V. So that was a good one. Besides the book released 25 years ago, like if you already have that one and the fully booked, you could use it for a book set in Europe. Potentially a genre hybrid if you want to like count historical and romance separately. I think you totally could. You could also use it for a second book in the series. I wasn't going to attempt the on the cover because there are 5 million covers for this book. So just look at what one you have and go from there. And then read through the ages. You could use it for before 1869 because it takes place in 1814. I think that's it.
That's it.
Around the world, I guess you could use it for Europe as well. If you don't have that one already. Really, you think genre hybrid is a stretch? Do you guys agree?
What genres are we thinking?
I said it could be used as historical and romance. It is technically a historical fiction and a romance.
Yeah. As long as you'll admit that coffee is a breakfast.
Historical romance is its own genre, but I also think that like we have done that for other books that like kind of have their own subgenre before. I do think it is like slightly a stretch, but I do think you could use it and get away with it.
Especially because you make your own rules for your own challenges.
Yes, you do. I didn't use it for that, but you could. Anyways, before we go, like always, we have some housekeeping to get to. First let's discuss our next book. It was a very close poll, and for October we are doing a mystery slash thriller, and the one that won was Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. It was super close. Becca's book almost won, but sadly it didn't. So we will be reading Rock Paper Scissors. Our meeting will be October 29th. And the one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is there is potential that that date, October 29th, either might not work at all or maybe shortened or a different date altogether because we could potentially be deep into planner packing
And
if
we have a
things
deadline.
work out, and we have a deadline when we need to get planners out to our US customers. So just keep in mind that the next meeting we might not know
We'll keep you
until a little
posted.
bit closer to that timing if we will be able to do as long of a meeting. So just keep that in mind. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was we don't have any kind of theme or prompt for our November poll. We are getting to the end of the year. So if there is a genre or a theme or something that you think we should tackle before the end of the year, I'm totally open to ideas because I have none. So we could revisit books that hadn't
That's true.
haven't
We are
won.
due for a
We don't have
revote.
enough for to do four, but we could go back to ones that didn't win earlier in
Yeah,
the year.
we could do the one that didn't win. You know what? We did the four that didn't win. What if we
Yeah,
put one of like the second one from that one gets to move on again?
we could. Someone did recommend a cozy theme, but I think that we're gonna do that in December because everyone is busy and I don't believe in holiday books, so we won't be reading any of those. um, so I think December we're gonna do kind of cozy books.
What's our date for December? I was just thinking,
Um,
oh, we're
but
gonna
I think
move
we
things
need
way up.
we need something for November.
Um,
It could be a prompt that we're missing in the planner. We could do some of you have suggested a sequel to a book that we have already read, although I don't know that there's that many books we've read with sequels. Um we could do a genre that we feel like we haven't really tackled enough of or recently.
Two Twisted Crows. I think most of you already read that.
Yeah, and I just read it earlier this year.
We can maybe do that bonus one at some point after I
Yeah.
finally finish it.
Yeah. The other option is it could be a free for all, and I just pick four totally random books with no theme at all.
I like that.
I don't because that's a lot of pressure.
Oh,
I need a theme.
okay, I'll pick. No, I'll do that for a
Maybe
different one.
November should be Scott's picks
Yeah,
because he hasn't picked books
anything.
this entire year.
Fine.
So maybe
I will give
November
you four picks.
should be all Scott's choices. I think I think that's gonna be
Nobody's
the one.
gonna like any of the ones that I pick, so it's gonna be a whole thing,
Witches in a Forest.
which is
Probably
every
some
book.
sci-fi in there. Probably something pretentious.
I don't I don't read pretentious things.
Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Do we all agree that November will be Scott's month? I heard it. I said. Yes,
Cozy.
we
There's
all
got to be a
agree.
cozy sci-fi. There's got to be at least one. Like,
Oh, there's totally cozy sci-fis for sure. But we could save that for December when we do cozy books.
true. Well, I was just looking at the dates for December, and we're gonna have to be real early in December because Wednesday is the 24th and the 31st. So
Mm.
we're gonna be on the 17th
We
for
could
that one.
maybe we could maybe do it on a different day.
True, true. It might be a Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick November books.
Okay.
I
I like this theme.
And then we can figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
any
that's all. That's
any
all the
other notes?
housekeeping I had.
Okay. Well, we will see you after the planners get here. Hopefully.
True. That's weird to think about.
Yeah.
I am not ready.
Oh, we're ready.
I'm not ready.
I gotta keep printing.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for coming to book club. And as always, so lovely to chat with you about the books.
I feel like we had good
And
discussion like the chat was chatty today in a good way.
yeah, I like getting everyone's perspective.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
All right. You done? Anything else?
Nope, that's all.
All right. All right. Bye.
Bye.